Hi everyone, Rhythm here, and today I'm here to talk about how technology has made the lives of the visually challenged better. Technology has been playing a crucial role in our lives. We perform a lot of our day to day activities with the help of technology. For instance, calling our friends and family, texting, browsing the internet, listening to music, watching movies, and so on. But it was not the case a couple of years back. In those days, we have had limited access to technology. Screen readers were less available for people. I mean, because of the reasons that they were really very costly, so not all of us could afford having a screen reader. But later, Apple Mac computers and even in Windows, free screen readers were available. When I first started using computer, if I talk about my own experience, at that time I got to know about a screen reader called JAWS, JAWS. JAWS is a Windows-based application. It's a screen reader application, which was not free, of course. It was very costly. And then later, as I said, I got to know about another screen reader called NVDA, which is an open source and free screen reader developed for the visually challenged community. So after the emergence of all those free screen readers, I think many of us have had access to the computers or were able to access the computer very easily. Even on mobile phones, I still remember the Nokia and Symbian phones. When I had a touchscreen phone for the first time, I had to buy another screen reader separately, which was no, again not cheap. So later on, with the coming of Android phones, I got to know that screen readers are pre-installed on Android phones. Google has built a screen reader then called Talkback, which still exists, and many of us who use Android phones still rely on Talkback. The way it was designed in such a way that we could easily use our phones without any sighted assistance. Prior to that, in I still remember Nokia Symbian phones. As I said, I had to buy a screen reader, and screen reader technology in those days was not easy. I mean, like we had to learn a lot of gestures and all different shortcut gestures and a lot of things to be able to use the phone properly. But later on, it became very easy. We could use the phone just like any other normal person would do. Just a few tricks, of course. There are few gestures, there are few tricks that would make uh, it a little bit different in terms of usability, but still, it is very easy. But and because of that, we have been able to use the computer and phones really very efficiently, and we could perform almost all of the activities that normally the sighted people would do, be it talking to our friends and family, texting, browsing the internet and all that stuff, listening to music, watching movies, and even navigating with Google Maps and all that stuff. Because we could just book an Uber and we could go anywhere, and it's just easy. It's really easy, I feel. Um, but besides the phone and the computers, I mean, if I just talk about the normal day to day activities that I mentioned, even beyond that, there are many different applications developed for the visually challenged community. Actually, technology, or rather, many different applications were being developed since very long time, but in the recent times, a lot of applications, even for mobile phones, have been developed. Say, for example, an application called Be My Eyes, which is a video conferencing application or video calling application, with the help of which we could call, and a volunteer would receive the call on the other end, and we could ask the volunteer to um, tell us what's in front of the camera, and that would help us. Maybe if I wanted to find an object, I could just say, hey, I want to find this object, can you say where is it, can you locate, like, can you help me locate this object? Then the person would say, yeah, just like I would move around with the phone, and the person would see from the rear camera of my phone and would tell me, okay, this is there, it's here. Or maybe I would ask a person to read something that's written on a particular bill or something. So these things became very easy for us. Earlier, we had to always depend on some other person. Somebody has to be with us to be able to do all these things. Now it's not anymore. We are more independent, I would say. I won't say completely independent, but yeah, we are way more independent. I think, I feel. And there are other things also coming in, other applications like Seeing AI, which is an AI based application. We can use it for scanning our documents and all that stuff. We could use it to recognize people's faces. It has face recognition technology built into it. We could use it to describe a scene. Like we could take a picture of anything, like with just a random picture, and it would tell what's happening there. Like it would just predict and tell, because it's an artificial intelligence based application. Then it would recognize currency. As far as my knowledge is concerned, it doesn't recognize Indian currency, but anyways, it helps in recognizing currencies. It helps in recognizing colors, light, and all that stuff. Also barcode scanning for products, scanning the products with the help of the barcode scanning and all that stuff. So these are certain things that we can do. Then of course other technologies such as there are also other applications to do similar functions like Envision AI. Then there is another application called KNFB Reader, which is a scanning application. There are lots and lots of applications coming in actually. And besides, these are just what I'm talking mostly concerning the mobile phone. But then there are other technologies coming in like the finger reader. Then there is another technology called pen friend labeler, which is a labeling technology. Like we could with the help of sticker, we could attach a sticker to something, maybe a bottle of a medicine, and we could attach the pen friend to that particular sticker, and we could record our voice uh, and tell what that object is all about. And once the pen friend labeler touches the sticker, it will play back what we have recorded. So it's like recognizing a particular object kind of a thing. Then there are applications also on phones for recognizing currencies. Say for example, there is an application developed by RBI called uh, Mani, MANI, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's MANI. It helps in recognizing currency denominations, Indian currency denominations. Then there is another application on iPhones also called Cash Reader, which is a paid application. Mani is free, by the way, for both Android and iPhones, but the Cash Reader application is paid. It does the same functions, but I think the quality is a bit better as of now. To be very to be very honest, but yeah, these are certain things. Then there are as we the visually challenged community use white canes, so now even smart canes are emerging. um, what they do is basically they have sensors, and they will, like if they'll try to detect obstacles in front of us, and they'll give us vibration feedback or some audio feedback and all that stuff. So smart canes have come in, and besides that, a lot of other technologies like the smart technologies are coming in, uh, like the smart speakers, Alexa and all that stuff, Amazon Echo, Google Home and all that stuff. So we could use those in our day-to-day activities also. So that makes our life a bit better and easier. If we want to read a book, or if we want to just know the time, we don't have to just check our mobile. We could just tell Alexa to tell the time. That could be way easier, right? Be it for a sighted person or be it for a visually challenged person. So we are like going hand in hand, I could say, in certain aspects. In I think in many ways. And besides that, other smart technologies like the smart camera also helps in a way, because from my own personal experience, I use a smart camera. So what I do is, like, I if I stay alone here in Mumbai, sometimes my parents could just see from there in Guwahati, like whether I'm present in the room, what am I doing, or so that they could, just be what I'd say. They maybe they could worry less, a little bit less, and they could be, yeah, okay, he's there in the room, okay, he's doing this, okay, it's fine. So these things have made our lives really better, I think. And I myself is a very technology enthusiastic person, I would say, since long actually. I've been really fascinated with new technologies and all that stuff, be it in terms of music or be it in our day-to-day activities. I like to look out to different uh, technologies coming in, and if I can afford, I could definitely try to check those out and see how they function and how they help. So I would say these technologies have been really helping us a lot, and it has made our lives really better. I would maybe give or rather I would like to cite another example, the way this technology has helped me during my college days, especially during my graduation and master's days. I would say I would use computer a lot, because when we studied in schools we didn't have textbooks and all that stuff to read. We had to write a lot of things down, and it was not just possible for us to just write down the whole textbooks in braille. That was practically, I think that was not practical enough. I mean, it was not possible also in a way, because it would consume a lot of our energy and a lot of our time also. And there has to always be somebody to all the time keep dictating. So somehow it was not really practical. But again, with the coming of ebooks and all that stuff, this is another aspect I think I would say. Ebooks have really helped. So even if you don't have a braille book, maybe you could download an ebook, or you could buy an ebook and you could read it with the help of the screen reader, whether it's on your phone or it's on your computer. It's on a computer or it's on a phone, you could be able to read the ebooks. And even with the emergence of audiobooks, this the reading thing has become really easier for us. I mean, it's way better now. uh, in my college days, I used to download like different ebooks and all that stuff, and I used to read. Or maybe if I had to find out something, I could just google and find out any information if I needed whatever information I needed. So that has made our lives a little bit better, I think. Even in my master's days, I used to use braille for taking down notes, but later I realized that it was really, I mean, the dictating thing was really happening so fast that, I mean, it was really becoming very difficult for me to pick up. So what I did is I took the consent of our teachers, and I started bringing my laptop on in my college, and I started writing down all of my notes and everything that the teachers would give in my laptop. So it would be very fast and even faster than sighted people writing with the pens and pencils. So, but anyways, it was really helpful. You could keep the notes stored, and then if you have to edit and all that stuff, you could do any kind of editing later on. So it was really helpful. It was really becoming very easy. So I think now these are things that can be really looked upon. And even in schools and colleges, I think things like this can be included, like technologies like this can be included, so that uh, studying becomes a bit easier and better for us, for the visually challenged community, I believe. So I'm really optimistic about technology, and I feel it has really helped us in many ways. And I also believe the people who have been listening to this pretty long uh, talk of mine will also agree to what I said. I mean, it has really made us more independent, and it is still developing, and it is still helping us in more and more ways. So that's all I have to say. So I am really thankful to all the technology developers, and we all are probably thankful to all of the technology developers who are keeping accessibility in mind while developing all these technologies, and keeping us in mind while developing all these technologies, so that it is not just the sighted people, but even people like us who could use these technologies and gain benefits from them. Thank you.